Hello, you're watching Outsiders. I'm James Morrow, here with my special co-hosts this week, Liz Storer and James McPherson. And before we go any further, can I please say Shana Tova to all our Jewish friends celebrating Rosh Hashanah this weekend, a sentiment that is shared by none other than Joe Biden, who on a phone call with Jewish leaders Friday told the rabbis that, well, he's practically Jewish himself.
You might say, raised in the synagogues of my state. You think I'm kidding? I'm not. But back in Wilmington, Delaware, Beth Shalom was a home of countless friends for me.
Oi, Gewalt. Of course, if that sounds familiar, and by the way, he wasn't sounding too good there in that call, was he? Well, if that sounds familiar, it's because Joe Biden has also claimed to have grown up, not in synagogues, but black churches.
When you're involved in the civil rights movement as a kid in high school, I used to go down to the black church. I go to 7:30 Mass. I'm a practicing Catholic. Then I go to 10 o'clock. And then we sit and plan what we're going to do in terms of desegregation. You think I'm joking? I'm not.
To listen to Joe Biden tell it, he's as black and Jewish as Sammy Davis Jr. But amazingly, he's also claimed to be basically Puerto Rican.
I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community.
But if that's not confusing enough for you, let's take a look at some highlights from this speech Joe Biden also gave on Friday. The first speech, by the way, that he's given since his son Hunter was indicted on gun charges. Now, naturally, there was the usual Joe versus teleprompter moment.
MAGA Republicans in Congress also trying to undo the progress we made to make getting, look, what I was able to do in what they call the G7 among the NATO countries and European countries, I was able to get them to all agree, and then around the world.
Yeah, I don't know. I got nothing there. Did you have an onion tied around your belt too? But there was also in that speech the usual random screaming.
You're going to pay somewhere between 20 and 40% less in those other countries. Same exact drug, made by the same exact company.
What else am I missing here? Oh, what else should be in one of Joe Biden's speeches? Oh, yeah, of course. The creepy whisper.
The new economic vision has been labeled by those in the Wall Street Journal and the London Economist and some of the more conservative press as Bidenomics. Well, they didn't mean it as a compliment at first. But now they're getting it.
I've got a puppy in my van. Would you like to come see it? Honestly, Joe. But while Joe Biden is falling apart before our eyes, the sad thing is that so too is the United States. The crisis at the southern border, which is now creating havoc in left-wing so-called sanctuary cities, is really coming to a head. What you're seeing here is footage from the U.S. side of the border in Arizona, where thousands of migrants are crossing each week. And authorities say they are now seeing huge numbers of single military-age males coming in from Senegal, trying to cross into the U.S. So great is the honeypot of welfare and potential future naturalization and citizenship that migrants are making their way to Central and South America from Africa to try to break into the United States. It's a massive disaster, humanitarian-wise, economically, socially, from a law enforcement point of view. And it is also causing huge political problems for Democrats in these sanctuary cities, #welcome, like New York. Here's AOC, our favorite Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, being drowned out by protesters furious at the way New York is being overrun by illegal migrants that their own city government has vowed to take care of.
Ultimately, I think that there are 3 points of consensus here that are very important in getting a solution to this issue. The first is that there is consensus here across geography and states on increased federal resources to cities and municipalities dealing with this issue.
You know, she used to be a bartender before she went into politics, and I tell you, as someone smarter than me recently said, how drunk do you have to be to put your bartender in Congress? Anyway, We shouldn't be too smug here in Australia either, because our population is now growing by 2,000 people a day, nearly 600,000 last year, in a process that is supposedly far more controlled and regulated, but under Labor is now leading to housing and infrastructure crises like we've never seen before. In both the US and Australia, it is hard not to be cynical then to see these massive, essentially open borders programs beloved of the left, and quite a few on the right too, as a way to both make a buck, particularly for developers, and shift the balance of power in the favor of the left.